All right, so you've poured your heart and soul into building an amazing Web3 project. You're ready to share it with the world. You start reaching out to the media and nothing. Just crickets. Sounds familiar? Well, if you're tired of your emails ending up in the void, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to break down the art of the Web3 media pitch, the kind that actually gets a response. And this quote right here, this is everything. Seriously, it's the core idea we're going to keep coming back to. It's not about having the best tech, it's about having the best story. You could build the most groundbreaking protocol ever, but if you can't explain why it matters in a compelling way, it's just code. It's invisible. This is the golden rule, for sure.
So let's get right to it. Why do journalists seem to ignore your emails? I mean, it's the question that drives founders crazy, right? You spend hours writing the perfect pitch, you hit send, you're refreshing your inbox, and zip, nada. You start wondering, is my project not good enough? Did I pick the wrong person? But here's the thing. The answer is usually a lot simpler, and it's all about getting inside their world for a minute.
Okay, first things first, we need to diagnose the real problem here. And trust me, it's not personal. It's a problem of just insane scale and noise. Let's call it the crypto attention problem.
Just try to picture this for a second. A typical crypto journalist. They're getting hundreds of emails every single day. We're not exaggerating here. So your email isn't just sitting there waiting to be read. Nope. It's one tiny drop in an absolute fire hose of announcements and pitches. So standing out isn't just a nice to have, it's literally a matter of survival. So with that fire hose blasting at them, how on earth do they decide what to open and what to just delete? It's a split-second decision. They have this lightning-fast mental filter. On one side, you've got the stuff that gets instantly trashed. It's confusing, it's irrelevant to what they cover, or it just feels completely random and out of time. But on the other side, the emails they do open are the total opposite. They are super clear, totally relevant, and hit their inbox at the perfect moment. All right, so now that we know the problem, let's talk solutions. And the very first step is a game changer. It's simple, but so many people get it wrong. Lead with a story. Not a feature, not an announcement, a story. And this distinction is absolutely crucial. You got to remember, a journalist is not your PR agency. They're not there to just copy-paste your press release. Their job, their only job, is to find and tell interesting stories for their readers. And hey, we launched a thing? Well, that's just a fact. It's not a story. So how do you actually find that story in your project? Well, think about these three angles. For example, let's say you've built a new DeFi lending protocol. The boring get-deleted pitch is, we launched a new DeFi protocol. Snooze. Instead, what if you framed it as solving a real problem? Something like, you know how DeFi is way too complex for most people? Well, our new protocol makes yield farming as simple as sending a Venmo. Boom! See that? Now you have a story. It's a story about a huge market gap, it solves a real user pain point, and it plugs right into the bigger conversation about crypto going mainstream. Okay, so finding your story is half the battle, but how you tell that story is just as critical. That brings us to our next big point. You've got to pitch with clarity and credibility.
So often, founders get stuck in what I call developer speak. You know, they're so deep in the technical details, the jargon, the weeds, but journalists are writing for humans. So your pitch has to pass the human speak test. It's simple. Can you explain what you built, why it matters, and, this is the key, why it matters right now? If you can't say that in a simple sentence or two, your pitch isn't ready. Go back to the drawing board. And listen, before a journalist even considers hitting reply, they're going to do a quick 30-second background check. They're looking for signs of life, for credibility. So they're going to check for clear info on the team. They'll look at your socials to see if you're active. They'll want to see a public audit, and they'll look for any sign of traction or community. If any of that stuff is missing or looks sketchy, it's a huge red flag. They're not going to waste their time. They'll just move on to the next email.
So you've got a killer story, your project is credible, you're almost there. But there's one final piece to this puzzle, and honestly, it might be the most important: timing. Perfect timing is what separates a good pitch from a great one.
Seriously, just look at it like this. Your amazing story is 50% of your success. The other 50%, it's all about timing. You could have the most incredible, groundbreaking story ever, but if you pitch it at the wrong time, when nobody's talking about that topic, it's just going to fall flat.
So how do you match the moment, as we're calling it? Well, you have to find a hook into what's happening right now. For example, did a big platform just get exploited? Maybe your security project is the solution.
Is everyone debating new regulations? Maybe your privacy tool has a fresh take on it. The key is to connect your project to a conversation that's already happening. That's how you become instantly relevant.
It really all comes down to a super simple formula. Relevance equals response. That's it. The more your story connects to the here and now, the higher your chance of getting a reply. You want the journalist to feel like, whoa, I need to cover this today.
All right, let's bring this all home. We're going to wrap this up into a simple playbook that you can literally use for your next pitch.
This is a pro tip. Make the journalist's job easy. Don't make them hunt for information. Have a media-ready kit prepared with everything they could possibly need. We're talking clear context, the key facts and data, some great quotes from a founder, awesome visuals, and of course, clean links to everything. Doing this makes you look professional and seriously increases your odds.
And one last thing. Let's talk follow-ups. It's totally fine to send a follow-up email, but don't be that person who's pushy or annoying. One short, polite bump is all you need. Remember, the goal here isn't just one quick article. It's about building good, long-term relationships with people in the media.
So, as we finish up here, I want you to ask yourself one question before you send your next pitch. Just one. Look at your announcement and ask, is this just a feature or is it a story? Finding the answer to that, well, that's what makes all the difference.